You already know what to do. Your brain learned this in childhood just to survive. What's stopping you is what it's going to cost you.
All right, spirit teams of the collective that I'm reading for. What's going on with their 9th house? Their higher learning, their internal belief structures. We've got the King of Pentacles so far. It's a good card. All right, this one wants to hide, so we're gonna flip that later. We've got the 5 of Wands and the 8 of Pentacles. All right, so on the surface, you are challenging the way things are done and the way that they've always been done, especially if it comes to like your career or your home or some sort of earthly resource like that. It's not so much about authority, because I would be the Emperor, but the King of Pentacles is very stable, very good with money, very good with planning and things of that nature. Can see the bigger picture of the household and the other earthly resources. Note how I'm not mentioning the spirituality or the emotional or any of that. So take that if it resonates. Then we have the 5 of Wands, which in this deck is about taking a step back and looking at the situation more clearly. That's over the hidden card. And then we have the 8 of Pentacles, which is about, you know, being pretty far in your career or whatever you do to provide an income. And you're doing the work for the sake of doing the work, and, you know, you're not really finding passion in it. You're not really finding joy in it, but you're doing it because it works. So let's find out what's hidden. The 7 of Cups. Ooh. That card is all about having all of the different options available to you and kind of being paralyzed because how do you pick one? Okay. So it seems that you have been presented an opportunity to break from the tradition and do something different. Several different things are available to you. That's good. We've got the Empress, which is all about your intuition and, you know, that sort of stuff. Your feminine energy. We have the Ace of Swords, which is a brand new thought. And the 10 of Wands, which is the burden of success. You see a flaw in the way that things are done. And you recognize that doing it the way you've always done it is, you know, the best path. It's the most stable for sure. It's definitely tried and tested. But you see something wrong with it. And because of that, it's hindering your ability to play the game that's supposed to be played. You're having a really hard time reconciling the way things have always been with the way things have always been. And we have the Priestess in reverse, which is hand in hand with that Empress card, and I was trying not to conflate them. So convenient. You don't know what to do because this new thought you've had throws everything else into chaos. Because if you act on it and you're right or wrong, doesn't really matter either way, you will become a whole new person, but everyone else is going to suffer for it. Or at least that's the fear. All right. Let's get these spread out a little bit. All right. What advice do you have for them, Spirit? And Spirit teams of the collective that I'm reading for. What advice do you have for them? Don't worry. Okay. That is probably the least helpful answer that you could have possibly given us, Spirit. Don't worry about it. Okay. What else do you have, Spirit? We have the Four of Pentacles and the Star in reverse. You're right. It doesn't work. For whatever reason, you are a curse breaker. You are a generational curse breaker. That is the collective I'm reading for. And as such, you have this impeccable ability to see these sorts of flaws. So if you're seeing it, don't ignore it. Act on it. We've got the Knight of Swords and the Two of Swords in reverse. You already know what to do. You already know what the right thing to do is. You've already made up your mind. There is no decision here to make. You're just worried about the emotional consequences of it, which comes back to here. The curse breaker is uncomfortable 90% of the time. It's unfortunate. It's just the way it is. Speaking from experience on that one. You're going to be challenging people, and people are going to exit your life because of it. Not because you did the wrong thing, but because they don't align with your path. They're just going to hinder you. They're going to slow you down. They're not going to listen. They're not going to do the work, and you're just going to get frustrated. So honestly, let them go. Let them leave if they choose to leave, as much as it sucks. But that's the role of the curse breaker. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust that in your childhood, you learned all of the warning signs, and your brain, as fascinating as it is, stored those memories, stored those red flags to use later. They are deep in your subconscious. And if something's coming up that's triggering them and you don't understand it, you don't have to understand it. That's not your job here. Your brain recognizes something that you're not seeing, and you need to listen to it, because that is the nature of the curse breaker. You don't need to assume anything, but just if something is triggering oh, that's weird, or I don't really understand what I'm feeling, then you need to stop and sit with it and give it another opportunity to see what comes next. It might be nothing. It might be something. You won't know until you allow it to play out. You're going to be just fine. No matter what happens, you're going to be just fine. You have a spirit team that surrounds you and is devoted to you, that they will not allow a catastrophe to happen unless it's actually for, your own good or the greater good. Which, don't get me started on the greater good. I have feelings on that, but you are so well protected that even a catastrophe is a privileged one. You're still blessed. You're still going to come out just fine. You're not going to have to worry in the long term about any of this stuff. Once it's done, it's done. And that is a very privileged position to be in. Again, speaking from experience. But every once in a while, you're going to get these challenges that They are just meant, this is the Tower, by the way, they are meant to test the foundation of things. If it can go through this storm, which in this deck we have dragons adding to the lightning, if it can survive that, and, you know, it may need to be rebuilt, it may need to be reinforced, but if it survives, then the foundation is good. If it doesn't survive, the foundation is not good, and it was only a matter of time before you saw that for yourself. And it was going to be much harder if you do allow it to wait. That's how a lot of these lessons work. The longer you wait to address it, the harder it's going to get, because Spirit will force it either to teach you the lesson that your soul signed up to learn, or to teach you that sometimes people are just shit, and sometimes they don't care about anyone but themselves, and that's just human nature. It's just the way it is. Sometimes we have a deeply flawed society right now. So when you see these signs, it's important to note them. I would suggest journaling them, honestly, because then you can go back and see, okay, this is how often these signs turned out to be something, and this is how often it turned out to just be a trauma response. And all of that is really good information to have. Any final advice, Spirit? Don't let anyone destroy your happiness. You have everything you need, with or without anyone else, because as people exit your life, new ones will come in. Ones that are much better aligned with your 10 of Cups and want the same things you do, instead of trying to force you to want the things that they want. It'll just naturally align. So it sucks and it hurts, but don't be afraid to take risks and lose people in the process, because that's part of the path. That's part of what your soul signed up to go through in this life. So just don't be mean. Don't cause harm for the sake of causing harm. You know, all the things. Maybe have a therapist on hand. I recommend that for literally everybody. So, and that's all I got, and I'll see you in the next one.